Okay, I'd like to welcome to Head Kick Audio. We got Alex High Vibe Shinobi. We'll get into that. We got a Carrillo brother here. He's fighting on RUF 43, which takes place at the Celebrity Theater in downtown Phoenix, Arizona. That's this Sunday at the Celebrity Theater, RUF 43. He's going to be taking on Mark something. We're not too interested in Mark right now. What we are interested in is the High Vibe Shinobi. Mr. Carrillo, you are fighting at 130 pounds. If somebody didn't want to make flyweight, whatever. This fight is very interesting to me in a sense that you are making your way down. Well, I shouldn't say making your way down because you agreed to flyweight and he didn't. You're fighting my favorite division. So, little fun fact there. That's my favorite division, right? So talk to me about the camp. Talk to me about the cut. I want to know everything.
All right. So basically, I walk around at probably like 132. So it's not a cut. I was looking forward to going down to flyweight just to see how the weight cut was anyways. But I've been doing some underground fights and getting ready for my amateur debut and everything like that. And I honestly didn't know that this was going to come as soon as it did. I thought it was going to take a little bit longer, but I've been ready to go this whole time. Super stoked. I train with really good guys at Black House, and I owe my team the things that I'm getting a lot better going with all these dudes. I get to spar with really tough guys in Bellator, guys in the UFC, guys in the PFL. I lived with Bubba Jenkins, so I got a lot of time to go and get some wrestling training and get some good striking training. My coach, Brazilian Samurai, he's been putting us through crazy workouts, and his mentality is really to go in there and bang and leave it all out in the cage or the mat or wherever. So I've just been super stoked for this and super ready to go. My brother's been living in Arizona. I've been going back and forth, and I've just kind of been taking him along with me, showing him the ways. He's an amateur fighter too as well. He has a 3-1 record, and I'm looking to, take him back into the game. He's been out for a little bit, and I want to debut pro potentially after this fight with him as well to see if we can both debut on the same card. So super excited about that. And this camp has been pretty wild. It's had its ups and downs for sure. I've had my fair share of injuries. I've gotten beat up for sure. I've gotten put in a lot of submissions, got a lot of hard training, 2 a day, sometimes 3 a days. I've just been ready to put my skills out on the line. It's been a long time coming for sure.
Well, and with the experience with the underground fights, right? Do you think that's going to translate well into your amateur debut here?
Yeah, absolutely. The underground fights were basically amateur fights. They were unsanctioned, but I fought guys that had already had amateur records. And then I also fought a pro fighter as well. So I kind of just treated it like a mini pro debut, So I've been super ready. I got featured on a Vice documentary for my last fight. So I got to be in front of a crowd. I got to be in front of the camera crews, and I got interviews, stuff like that. So I think it really helped me get ready for this situation. So I think this upcoming fight, it's not going to be too much different than that.
So the production, the lights, none of that is really going to be in effect for real.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I did my second one that I had, I was the main event. And I had people actually betting on me underground, and I chipped in on the bets as well. So I made some money off myself. So I had people screaming, cussing at me. I was in enemy territory. It was in Compton, California. So it's definitely a wild area. People definitely wanted to take my head off, but at the end of the day, they respected what I did, and I'm just super excited to come out and show my skill for sure.
Okay, now what has life been like, training with your brother? Because your brother, obviously, he fights as well. He's going to be on this card. How has the training camp been, kind of getting to incorporate that in it?
So basically, he used to coach me ever since I was like 3 years old, starting in wrestling. And then when I started to actually compete, I was like 8 years old. So he was my head coach. Both of my brothers were, but he was definitely more in my life at that time. And he wrestled in college. He wrestled at U, and we both wrestled at the same high school and middle school. So he was definitely in my life for a long time, and I watched him debut amateur. And, I trained with him and helped him for his first fights. So then, I had that itch to want to fight, and instead of going to college wrestling, I decided I wanted to be an MMA fighter. From there, ultimately we've just been training together. Then we took a couple years away from each other. I took some years to go to Black House and try out for the team. I made the team, so I stuck out there, and like I said, I got to live with Bubba, and I learned a lot from him and all the other guys. They welcomed me in. At first, it wasn't too welcoming. They thought, I was just some young kid just trying to, make my way in there. They thought maybe I was a little cocky and stuff like that. But once they saw the skill that I had and the high level wrestling that I brought in there, they definitely respect me and treat me like one of their own. So, and I came back to Arizona right as my brother had his third fight, and he lost that third fight, and I was super upset because we hadn't been training together, and he had a different training camp and everything. So, it really hurt me inside. So I took the initiative to start coming back and forth to add him into the loop. And then last fight that he ended up getting a first round rear naked choke, and it was a move we worked on right before. So since then, we've really just been sticking it out with each other, and he had a tryout at Black House as well, and they ended up accepting him as well. And I've watched him take a lot of ups and downs as well. There's some killers in there for sure. So both of us, we've just been a really tight knit team, and for this training camp and everything, we've came back and forth from Cali, but we've mostly been doing our own stuff for this past month because I've been camping out here a little bit more. And we both stay in our vans. We're both kind of hippie vibes. We ultimately we're really set on this lifestyle, and it's really cool to have him as my support and me as his support. It's cool because the roles have been changing. Like, he used to coach me, and now I'm coming back with the skill that I've brought, and now I'm instilling it back to him. So I'm giving him back what he gave me in the first place. So it's working out together for sure. So we're super excited. I can't wait to see him on the card. We were talking about it, and we are like, dang, should we fight on the card? Because maybe he might want to call me, or I might want for him. But we're like, dude, it'd be badass if we just fought at the same time. So it's definitely been dope.
Fuck yeah. And then, so like, we've had brothers on our cards before, right? We had the Mordecais, and we've had a couple others, and they've had success. So who's fighting first, you or Tim?
I still don't know the lineup, to be honest. But however it works out, I hope that nothing happens to us or anything, so we can both be in each other's corners. I got one of my friends to come. Just he's new at SMA, going to be in our corner as well, just to make sure we have a cornerman and everything. Our teammates are all out in Cali, so we don't really affiliate with anyone in Arizona. So we're kind of on our own within this battle coming up and everything. But no matter what, we got each other's backs, and we're super excited. I hope I go first. I'm super excited, but if he goes first, it doesn't matter. It'll be, the same results for sure.
Okay. And then inside of camp, who, because you've been doing most of your camp over at Black House, who's been your main training partner?
So my main training partner has been Tristan Azell. He actually fought on the card. He had a big weight cut coming down. He came down from like 195 all the way to 170. And they had a good switch up of opponents on him last second. But, we've been wrestling together ever since we've been in fourth grade. So he's definitely been one of my main training partners. And then also Anthony Romero. He is from California, and he just fought on an amateur card for Camo, and he just won the title there. But yeah, he's been one of my main partners as well.
Very nice, very nice. And what is your like desired result, and what do you want to get from this fight?
So, I honestly want to show people my skill and showcase what I have. I've had a lot of people say, oh, you're just a guy training online, and they haven't really respected my underground fights too much. And a lot of people have been saying, oh, when are you going to fight for real and this and that. So I'm going to show people, a fight's a fight. It doesn't really matter, and I'm gonna do the same thing.
Right, and do you have a preference in which you'd like to put this guy away in?
So honestly, I'm not trying to go in and rush too much. I think my last fights that I've had, I came in for the submission within the first and second round. I've made sure to implement striking on the feet. I've made sure to implement big slam takedown, some ground and pound, my jiu-jitsu on the ground. And I've really, tried to mix every aspect and show a lot of what I have. But it's still just a little aspect of, what I still had in my game. So I want to show people that I'm really well-rounded. So I think in this fight, I'm definitely going to try to strike more. I think this guy, he's more of a jiu-jitsu guy. And that doesn't really phase me too much because, I have a lot of wrestling and jiu-jitsu background. I don't have a belt or anything like that, but I've definitely gone with some killers. I've gotten to go roll with the Gracies and Black House. I've gotten to roll with like I said, Bellator fighters, UFC fighters. I've gotten a lot of different levels. So it doesn't worry me too much, but I definitely want to strike with this guy, and I definitely want to put him down with my strike. And I definitely like to put him away on the feet.
100%. And then what is the like end, not the end, but what do you aspire from your career going forward?
So honestly, if it takes a couple amateur fights, I'm down with it. But like I said, I'm definitely, I feel ready to go. I've definitely got some experience doing the underground, and if this fight goes well, and it goes to the game plan and everything, I definitely like to go pro. And I'm honestly trying to make it to the UFC or any high association or an international fighting association. I want to showcase my skills to not only be like a local fighter. I'm trying to be like worldwide and stuff like that. So, I see a lot of my teammates. They're already recognized by a lot of people, so I look up to them, and I definitely want to be in the position they are and keep going forward from there.
Okay. Now that we've got those questions out of the way, okay? So check this out, right? Everybody, and I mean everybody that comes on my show, they got to answer this question. Nobody gets a free pass. And it's my favorite question of the show, okay? So when the referee brings your arm to the air and the cage announcer announces you as the winner, I want to know how we are celebrating your win with that victory meal. Lay it on me. Come on. Come on.
All right. So honestly, shoot, I'm gonna try to see if there's a buffet open or something like that, because I am gonna freaking chow down. I don't care if it's some Asian food or some Indian food. I'm vegan, so I ultimately have a little shorter options of certain things, but ultimately I'm gonna grub for sure, especially with my brother and everyone that came out to support me. I'm super excited to go eat a big meal. I go to Raw like that and get a bunch of vegan sushi or like that.
Okay, so let's talk about that for a second because you're vegan, right? So the answer has to be a little creative. But vegan sushi?
Yeah. So like avocado cucumber rolls, or like they do like the fried tempura rolls.
Okay.
Add like a big bowl of seaweed salad. Throw some ginger on there, some wasabi. I'll do some vegetable soup, like some vegetable udon soup, or some ramen, or all of the above, honestly.
Now, okay, vegan, right? Are you allowed to have chicken ramen?
So I'm not actually. I've actually been vegan for about 5 years now. So, ultimately, I've definitely dabbled with a lot of things. Especially when I first started out. Shoot, I started eating like Oreo stuff like that. Oh yeah, that's vegan. Whatever. And I'm a wrestler, so I'm used to weighing in, cutting weight, weighing in, and just scarfing down on a crap ton of food. But I've definitely cleaned it up a lot within these past 3 years, and helped me get ahead within my training, and then way, no doubt. I used to have a lot of injuries growing up within wrestling, and a lot of things go down with my body and mindset and mentality. And I think cleaning this stuff up has helped me, but I've definitely still been chopped down a lot. That's for sure.
Okay, but how? Okay, there's no chicken in chicken ramen. It's the packet, right? Is there chicken in those packets?
I think so. To be honest with you, I usually get every time I get ramen or something like that, I'll get like they just have like the ramen noodles basically, and they'll put like the vegetable broth within it. But as far as the packet ones, the cheap ones, I had to give that up a long time ago for sure.
Oh, okay. Well, the sodium content, I'm sure, right?
Yeah, I ultimately I heard, you know, I watched some documentary on how like the noodles like sit in your stomach, and like this dude showed like a camera work on how like they didn't leave your body at a certain time, and your stomach like pulsated, shook when it was trying to digest it. And I after I saw that, I was like, damn. And I used to eat the ramen where I'd pour the sauce packet on it and all the spices and just crunch it up and eat it out and stuff. So overall, yeah, no, I've definitely tried to stay away from that kind of stuff for sure.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe I should you should send me the link to that documentary because
Yeah,
that's about the only thing in the world that I can cook without fucking it up. So, I mean, I guess I need to see that for sure.
yeah, no, absolutely. Shoot, it was a shock for me for sure.
Okay. Now, how does a vegan do dessert?
So, you know, honestly, I've done this method to where I only eat fruit during the day because with your serotonin, that's when it's releasing. And then at nighttime, your melatonin starts releasing. So I'll have like a fruit meal during the day, then a veggie meal at night. And then as far as dessert stuff, you know, I don't really, I mostly eat like the dessert stuff during the day, like the high sugar stuff. I have that during the day, so it helps me with more of my energy. And then at night, I eat foods that kind of calm me down and wind me down, so that my body's in more recovery mode. But as far as like dessert kind of stuff, like I'll do like freeze some bananas with like chocolate over it, or I'll do like some. I make this like vegan ice cream out of like frozen bananas whipped up, and I'll put like strawberries in it, and I'll put like different fruits in it. But you know, overall, I've been keeping it pretty simple, honestly. You know, like I said, I've been doing the van life kind of lifestyle, so I've just been eating like more whole foods, like stuff as they are. I don't really get to cook as much or do that kind of stuff, so I've been just keeping it more like cheap. I try to spend like $10-15 a day on food, and at the very most. And
Well,
I don't keep my food. I don't like have like a cooler and stuff like that. So I just kind of try to eat everything as it is, and during the day, and then go and get a different meal. You know, the next day, basically, every day is a new day, pretty much.
okay. Okay. Well, and I mean that's raw. That's raw as fuck.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
fucking raw.
absolutely.
Like that is pretty insane. I mean, this is like you make it or you break it. Like this is it. This is what is happening. You are on this road, and there is no turning back.
100%. I chose that.
Well,
So you know, that's what I signed myself up for, and you know, it's given me a lot of freedom. A lot, you know, at first I was like, damn, I don't have this, I don't have that, and you know, comfort. I don't have as much comfort, but then I realized, damn, you know, I'm free to the world. I can do whatever I want. I can be wherever I want. All I got to do is show up to training. I can come back and forth from Cali to Arizona. You know, I don't have too many ties to things. I don't have ties to rent and stuff like that. So it keeps me more free. And, you know, the only things I can really think about every day is my martial arts career and me focusing on my health. I don't have any distractions. Most of my life is, you know, I hang out at friends' houses. I'll come over and chill with them and everything. But as far as like life goes, that's the day to day for me for sure.
damn. Well, that sounds pretty free,
Yeah.
and I'm totally fucking jealous because you see this motherfucker. Yeah, I gotta pay for all of this.
Yeah.
Right. That is a mortgage holding me down right now. That is what that is. So you don't have that, but it sounds like it gives you, you know, the freedom and the opportunity to pursue something that you love.
100%.
I mean, you can't really ask for more, right?
100%. It's good to do this while I'm young. You know, I maybe if I'm older, maybe I'd want to have some different stuff going on, and you know, but I really don't care. I don't really care what people think about me. I don't care, you know, how people look at me. You know, how they think about my lifestyle. At the end of the day, all it really matters is what I can do in my performance, and that's what I put all my sole focus on.
Well, that's dope, man. That's very, very commendable, and I respect that a lot, man. That's like I said. I wish I could do that for real. Like just fuck it all. But I got too much shit for one little van, so I can't fit all my guitars and my big old desk and my drum set and my weights and my bag, and I can't fit all that. I mean, I couldn't fit this room into one van.
Yeah.
I couldn't a whole life. So you've got it down. You've got
Yeah.
it down. I mean, like I said, I'm happy for you because that means that you don't have to worry about that shit. You can focus on your training. You can focus on what you are trying to do. And that's, it sounds like to me somebody wants to be flyweight champion of the world, which my man, I'm telling you right now, that's my division, bro. If I was, if that division was around when I was fighting because I'm old as fuck, that's where I would have been. Okay, that's where I would have been. But so, how does the family feel about you and your brother and your guys' career choice?
My family's been pretty distant. I think we all kind of broke off in our own branches a couple of years ago. Everyone's kind of doing their own thing. My parents got a divorce when I was like 15, and things kind of just started to tilt apart. My sister ended up having a kid, so she's living with that family. My other brother, he's living with my dad, and then my mom, she moved away with her new husband, and so everyone's kind of got their own thing going, and I just make sure they're all right, that everything's good with them. They're kind of, I'm sure they're worried about what I'm doing and everything, and living on the road and stuff like that. But I think they're more focused on their own life, and that's okay because that means that I can focus on my stuff too. So it's kind of been me and my oldest brother and his kid. We've kind of just been rolling close, and taking this time to really think about what we've been doing. And we just bought land out in Tucson, so we're trying to build a whole facility out there. Yeah. Heck yeah. We bought like an acre of land. We're actually both fruit and vegetable farmers, and we learned from our uncle. He's big time in that. So we've invested a lot of our time into a lot of different various projects around the valley, and doing backyard projects, doing bigger land projects, doing some mountainside growing stuff like that. But it's been other people's properties, so we're finally like, you know what, we want to do our own thing. So kind of living in the van situation, car camping. We're saving that money, trying to get a GoFundMe going right now. I have one up, for people to support that, so we can grow a bunch of food for whoever that's around us. We used to sell in farmers markets all the time. We've done a lot of that stuff, and we've picked up a lot of growing methods to be able to grow under this hot sun in Arizona. So, we have all the materials. We've been keeping stuff in storage, and we're just waiting for our to shine. But other than that, we're just trying to build a sustainable property so that we wouldn't have to spend money. We'd get free food, build a whole water tank, build our own houses there, have some animals there, and go from there basically. But that's what we're building towards. I think that's, especially when I go pro, and when we both try to go debut pro, that's where our money is going to be invested in, so that we can have a mini utopia.
That's dope.
Heck, thank you.
That's dope, man. See, you got all the shit that I want. You know what I'm saying? You got all the shit that I want. I want all of that. But I'm stuck with all this. It comes with a hefty fine. You know what I'm saying? It comes with it takes all the paycheck. I mean, it takes all the paycheck. I got two little ones and a wife. You know what I mean? So you got none of that. You got complete freedom, and you got all these like opportunities in front of you. That's fucking amazing.
Hell yeah. I appreciate that. I'm super excited. I'm not really locked in with too much, besides the stuff that I have, the little things that I have, especially getting rid of all my stuff. I've learned to just be a minimalist, and not hold on to things too much. I've been treating myself like, instead of wanting the Ferrari, I'm like, I'm the Ferrari. I got to invest my time in myself before anything else. So, and with all that other stuff, that all that other stuff will come after. But if I just focus on investing in myself, then I can pursue the dream, and I won't have any things that are going to drive me a different way. I think this road I've been taking, it's a lonely road for sure. A lot of the friends that I have and a lot of the people I have around, they've been kind of they've been like, dang, you're kind of like on this wild, weird lifestyle, and we don't really, why don't you just get a normal job? I do like DoorDash and Postmates just because I like, being told when to be places, when to do things. I want to have my free time and do what I want to do. And if that means not staying in places and not, having to have a high rent, that means I have more free time. It's not just to go screw around. I stay away from substances and drugs and alcohol, stuff like that. I'm completely clean through that. So, I'll smoke here and there, just to get my mind, the creative juices going. But, other than that, I'm really just set on what I have to do and minimize all my expenses and being able to live lavish within my means. I'm not living over any of my means. I'm kind of staying in my zone. And that's what my brothers definitely, we've been working together. We used to stay in an apartment together when we were wasting all of our money and it wasn't coming back to us. And he has a lot of bills. He's got to pay for child support. He's got to pay for his car. We both shared a car at one point. And then I saved up for a van. And then after that, when COVID was going down, we just were like, you know what, I'm going to relocate back out to California. I ended up coming back here, staying, getting an apartment for a little bit. And I was not happy being here. But just the freedom to be able to go back and forth now and to have my own stuff. I'm like, I felt the most free and the most in control of my life I've ever felt in my whole life. So it's been super dope.
Well, and without all those distractions and those worries and all that weight, like the performance on Sunday night, that's like it sounds like that's like the hardest thing, which is like the funnest thing, because that's what you're training. You're training so that you can go in that cage and whoop some ass. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Like, that sounds like obviously the training's hard. Training for MMA competition is not easy. So anybody that thinks, oh, well, if that's the only hard, no, dumbass. The training is the hardest part, right? But what I'm saying is like that's the thing that like matters the most is collecting these W's, stacking these wins so that you can get to where you want to be. You know what I mean? Because I'm sure you don't want to live in the van for the rest of your life, but it's helping you it's helping you reach your goal quicker, right?
100%. I had living in certain situations, it kind of kept me back from doing what I was doing. I kept having to get certain jobs and it was taking time away from when I could train and when I could do things. And, I started being like, if this is what I want to do, why am I going to waste my time doing this other stuff? I don't care about comfort. I care about being able to actually perform and actually do this stuff. I definitely give a lot of thanks to the Backyard Association that I fought for, called Backyard Squabbles. They're getting shut down a little bit right now, so they're having to get more licensing and stuff like that. But they made me go a little viral on YouTube, so I give some thanks for them for sure. And just being able to perform and fight. I've gotten in street fights for a really long time just for fun, and I have that will to fight. I want to fight people. And it's not out of anger. It's not out of rage. I just, I've wrestled since a kid. Me and my brothers, we used to beat each other up. They used to beat me up when I was younger. And it put that in my head. Like, that's what I want to do to other people, and not out of try to, physically damage them too bad, but I definitely want to make them know that I'm top dog for sure.
Well, that top dog mentality is going to take you very, very far, along with, the training, because you got high level training, especially as an amateur. Like that's high level shit. And then your minimalistic lifestyle. I mean, that's only going to add to it. It sounds like, you've got the right, like the recipe. You got the recipe for success.
Hell yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. I've been, a lot of this stuff that I've trained and what I've seen, I haven't had too much time to get personal training in the room. A lot of the stuff that I've learned is through sparring and, hard way, which is fine. I've gotten to watch guys spar as well. And that's what I've really learned from, I got to be around Anderson Silva. I got to be around Machida, and watching them in there. I learned a lot. And I've tried to implement what they have in little bits and pieces of what they have into my game, along with the strike that I've learned from my striking coach, along from the jiu-jitsu that I've learned, so I've been trying to implement all these different aspects into what I've been doing. And especially I forgot all the wrestling that I've learned. My friend, his dad was training partners with John Smith, which is 2-time Olympic champion and I think he's multiple-time world champion. So that's who I grew up learning from, was his dad. And I've definitely have the Oklahoma wrestling style more. So I've definitely translated that a little bit more into the fight game. I've been throwing some strikes into duck unders, doing stuff really haven't been seen there yet. So I'm looking to show and debut some stuff that's going to be new for sure.
Well, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Well, we've come to the point in the interview where I'd like to give my guest, Mr. Carrillo here, the high vibe Shinobi. I got it right here. Not high five, high vibe. You know what I'm saying? High vibe. Alex, I'd like to give you as much time as you'd like to thank anybody you would like that's gotten you to your amateur debut and, so forth. Go ahead, man. Take the floor.
So, I'd like to thank one of my first wrestling coaches ever, Keith Walton. And then I'd like to thank my older brother, Timmy Carrillo. And then I'd like to thank Brazilian Samurai, Juan Gomez. He's super badass. He's my striking coach. I won't find any other striking coach like him. I'm ride or die for that dude and his team. His team's the Samurai Squad. I'm always going to be a part of the Samurai Squad. I'd like to thank Tristan Azell for getting me out there in California in the first place and showing me the ropes of what he had to go through in the beginning. I'd like to thank my teammates, Zoe Panther, Pacquiao. I'd like to thank Anthony Romero. And shout out to Joe tonight. He had a first round KO or it's either TKO or KO in his pro boxing bout tonight. So that was pretty badass. I'd like to, thank Leoto and Anderson for having me in the room. Super badass experiences. Much respect to them. I think that's about it.
All right, man. Well, again, this all goes down. This 130-pound catch weight, which should be flyweight, but, whatever. We can't control what the opponent does, right? But this 130-pound catch weight takes place at RUF 43, which is this Sunday. This Sunday at the Celebrity Theater in downtown Phoenix. Now, to purchase the pay-per-view or to get your tickets, if you don't have them already, you can go to www.rufnation.com. And there's going to be a fighter code in there. So check this out, right? That fighter code for Mr. Carrillo here is going to be ACARRILLO, and that's going to be ACARRILLO. Did I spell it right?
Yeah, perfect.
That's right. Okay, so again, that fighter code ACARRILLO, and a portion of them pay-per-views or ticket monies goes to this man right here. So get them tickets, get them pay-per-views. This is going to be a fun fight. Again, my almost favorite division, almost, because something over here, you know what I mean? But I want to see you compete at true flyweight, okay? Because I'm going to give this one a pass. I'm going to count it as flyweight because you guys are meeting somewhere around theirs, but I want to see you fight because flyweight is, the guys got the cardio, the toughest weight cut they got, and just the speed and the accuracy and just the moves. Flyweight is where it's at, my man. Don't get me wrong. I like big welterweights and I like heavyweights and all them too. Don't get me wrong. But something about flyweight, something about the flyweights just, let's go. You know what I mean? It makes me hungry because they probably want to eat. They want to eat. And Sunday, you will eat in the form of a victory here. So, one more time, www.rufnation.com, ACARRILLO, ACARRILLO is the code. So before I let you go, Mr. High Vibe, I got to keep saying High Vibe and reading it right there so I don't fuck that up. High Vibe Shinobi, do you have anything else before I let you go?
I'd like to thank RUF, and I'd like to thank you for having me on this podcast. I never thought that I would, I'd get the opportunity to even be interviewed like this. So, shout out to you. I really appreciate this so much, and I appreciate RUF for helping me out and getting the stuff ready to go for this bout. So other than that, I'm ready to come and I'm ready to give a show and perform and show people why I deserve to be in here and show people why I deserve to be at the highest level.
100%. Well, safe travels. Okay, if you're not here already, safe travels, right? And then make it to the scale, and then we can have some fun afterwards. Okay.
100%.
All right, brother. I will see you on Saturday because I'll be there, of course. I get to call the action, and I'm gonna be there on weigh-ins and shake everybody's hand, buying everybody waters. Waters on me all around. Okay, well, because y'all are cutting weight and stuff. So, but we'll catch you on Saturday, my man. All right.
Perfect. Sounds good. I'll see you
All
then.
right. Until next time, man. We'll see you later.
See you later.